feel like when you shop at Claire's, you're obligated to get things you don't need at all. Alright, so today I'm doing a full face, this look, testing out all makeup from Claire's. Claire's to me is like my 6th grade self. Ear piercings and jewelry that'll change your hands, colors that you never knew could change. There's been a few videos where people try out like kids makeup from Claire's, but they actually have a full-on makeup line. So I wanted to see if any of it's good, see my thoughts on it, test it out. When I was shopping online, it was buy 3, get 3 free off of pretty much all cosmetics. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, let's load up the cart. We're doing this video. So I hope you guys like this video idea. If you enjoy it while you're watching, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, you can subscribe and join the Burrito family. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Let's put some Claire's makeup on my face. I'm actually pretty excited about this. I thought it was gonna be plastic, but this is glass. Top quality, Claire's, top quality. So literally right as I just sat down to film, some dude just started singing like live throwbacks out there. So hopefully you guys can't hear him. He's actually pretty good. Kind of wish you could hear him. So I wash, moisturize, and prime my face. I used the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm today because my skin is feeling pretty dry actually from being, I was just in the mountains for like a week. I think I'm actually gonna start out with eyes today. I don't know why. I just kind of want to use tape. I'm in a tape mood. So I'm going to tape the corners of my eyes just to make eyeshadow easier. Using tape just kind of lets you have a cleaner line, so when you peel off the tape, your eyeshadow is just like a perfect line. It doesn't get, you know, places you don't want it to be. Oh, and I got new piercings. I was in San Francisco before Tahoe, and Stephanie, Nicole, and I hung out. You guys saw that if you follow either of us on Instagram. But we went to get piercings, so I got this little guy, which is so beautiful. This is like a real diamond. And then this one, and I also got my tragus. I didn't find an eye primer on Claire's, so I'm just going to use my Makeup Forever Aqua XL. I've been using this shade. This is M52. Whoa, this is like exploded from the mountains. But I've been using this as an eye primer, and I've been really liking it. So as you can see, the stuff is pretty opaque, which is also just going to help make the eyeshadows I put on top of it kind of pop. Got 2 different eyeshadow palettes to try out. The first one is the Beautiful Romantic Shadow Palette. This kind of looks like the Naked 3 palette. Whoa, they got 2 protective sealants on here. Here are the shades, and I didn't plan this with my shirt, but this is actually gonna work out pretty well. I have this palette too, which has some like cool toned glittery shadows in it, but then I also have these glitter liners, and there's a gold one in here. So maybe I'll do a silver and gold look. Ooh, that might be fun. So I got this palette because online it looked like these were matte, but now that I'm looking at these, I think all of these are shimmery. This palette is $9.50, and this palette is $10, so pretty much drugstore prices. This packaging feels much more sturdy and better quality than this one. This one was like on clearance in China. This packaging feels like the shittiest cardboard packaging they could have chosen. But I think I'm gonna start out with this shade right here. Just popping that into the crease. These shadows are super deep set in here, so it's kind of hard to actually get to the color. There's like a 1/4 of an inch of space between the foam and the actual eyeshadow. So your brush kind of gets like frayed when you go to put it in. I'm gonna take this white cream shade. This one actually looks like it's matte right here. So I'm gonna take that to put underneath my brow bone, I think. Whoa, that one feels super soft, and that picked up a lot of product. Super curious about these glittery shades. Doesn't have a whole lot of actual glitter in it. Yeah, there's definitely just a glitter overlay on these when you actually get down into it. It's just kind of like a shimmer with a few specks of glitter. Let's try this one. Ooh, what the actual heck is that? That one just got super chalky. This looks like those fiber mascaras. This is making me cringe. Look at how that just swatched. Hope you guys can see this. It's like freaking chunky and chalky. Not putting that anywhere near my eyeball. I'm gonna go in with this brown shade right here, and I'm just gonna deepen up the crease. Did anything just come off of there? So I'm gonna take the darkest brown shade right here next to the black. See how this goes. These ones seem to be blending nicely. Not the most pigmented or anything, but not horrible. I think I wanna do cool tones like on the outside and then do a shit ton of gold glitter. We're gonna take an eyeshadow break and do brows because it's gonna bother me. Okay, so I got this brow product. This is the 2-in-1 brow pencil. Looks like you have a brow gel on one end and then a pencil on the other, and this was in the darkest shade. This one retails for $7.99. So I think I'm actually going to use the brow gel first just to see how pigmented it is, and then just kind of fill in the shape a little bit more with the pencil. Feels super dry. Like it feels like nothing's coming off of there, but it is adding a little bit of color. Feels like I'm putting a dry mascara wand on my eyebrows right now. I think the color is a little bit warm for what I usually like. Feels like almost a powder. Whoa, this is super pigmented. Really creamy feeling, which I actually don't like for brows because you can really easily go overboard with it and it just looks like you kind of crayoned your brows. Definitely going to be cleaning these up with concealer. The color of the pencil is a lot closer to what I usually like for my brows. It's kind of like a more cool tone, deep brown. I'm going to take a little bit of my BH Cosmetics 102 concealer. I didn't find a concealer on Claire's. Oh god, is he singing Despacito? Yes, he is. Might as well go with the black. Let's try the black glittery shade right here. When I dipped my brush in there, I got a ton of fallout on the outside of this palette, so I'm just going to tap it off. It looks really glittery in the palette, but when you blend this out, I'm not seeing any glitter. It kind of just looks like a dark gray, not super pigmented black. So these are technically liquid liners. You get 7 in here for $12.50. Again, since everything was buy 3, get 3 free, all this was like way cheaper than it normally would have been. So I'm thinking I want to put this gold glitter all over my lids and just use it as like a liquid eyeshadow kind of thing, kind of like the Stila Liquid Metals. Oh, it looks like there's a lot of, there we go, glitter on the actual wand. I much prefer using liquid glitter over any kind of powder glitter. You just don't have to deal with the fallout. Ooh, look at that. This is totally working as eyeshadow. Okay, I'm gonna see if this right side is kind of dry yet. Still feels a little bit wet, but once it dries, I'm gonna go ahead and add a tiny bit more just on the areas where it's not totally opaque. Still wet, yeah. It does take a bit to dry, which is kind of concerning since these are supposed to be liners. I actually got a separate liner that I'm gonna try. This is the 2-in-1 felt tip liner. I was really curious about this because the point looks really fine, so I want to try this one too, but there is a liquid liner in this set. But since this is taking forever to dry, I would just be wary if you try this as a liner. You'll probably want to keep your eyes closed for a couple minutes so it doesn't transfer when you open your lids. Okay, even though this is still wet, I'm just going to dab a little bit more on certain spots. Looks really nice as shadow. I don't have a single speck that I can see as fallout. Everything is staying on my eyes. Kind of curious about this white shade. I might use this on the inner corner, but I think I'm gonna do my face makeup first. Gonna let this dry for an hour, basically. I can still feel it wet on my lids. I think I'm actually gonna keep my tape on for the liquid liner because why not? And then when I take it off, I can always go in and touch it up. But if you leave the tape on, I mean, you already have like a line there for you. So this eyeliner is $8, which is really reasonably priced. For a liquid liner. Doesn't say anything. Just says 2-in-1. So I'm assuming there's 2 different kinds of tips. On the outside of here, they actually look exactly the same. I think they just copy pasted that image. These look pretty similar. This one is a little bit shorter than this side. I'm gonna go in with the smaller one because that's what I usually like. So it's been a few minutes and I swear it's still wet. Kind of want to just go in with the liner and live my life because this is a little ridiculous at this point. It's been like over 5 minutes. Let's line these eyes. Very black. Feels a little bit rough going on, but it's super black and super matte. I'm just following against that tape and then gonna take it about halfway down and connect it. Okay, that was not bad. I'm gonna take the other side and cover that glitter a little bit more. Try to. I have a feeling this one might be one of those liners that dries up super quickly because I'm already having a harder time getting product out on this side. Could just be the angle too that I'm doing it at. It's a little bit tricky to get product out of here now. Am I gonna take these off now? I think I am. Is it time? Ooh, look at that. Look at that line. I mean, you can't beat that. It does feel like the glitter has dried down a bit, but it's still a little bit sticky when I touch it. I think this was the only foundation product I could find on there. This is the Claire's BB Cream in the shade Light. They had a few different makeup sponges on there, and this one, the colors just like intrigued me. So this is the size of this thing in the box. I did already dampen this and it stayed the exact same size. It feels very firm and it didn't really soak up any of the water at all when I went to dampen it. So let's try the sponge out on this side. Literally feels like I'm hitting myself with a rock. Woo, what is that smell? Is that the sponge or the product? I think it's the sponge actually. It smells horrible. The sponge is a no. This is going straight in the trash. I do have a little bit of tanner left over. I'm trying to get it all off so I can film foundation videos tomorrow, but it's like staying put. So this shade actually looks pretty light, which is nice. I think this would match me well with my normal skin color. This isn't looking too hot. This definitely is light coverage, but the coverage aside, it just looks pretty horrible. It's giving me like major weird texture. super matte, but it's just clinging weird. I'm gonna try mixing this in with foundation since I definitely don't like how it looks on its own. I'm gonna try mixing this with the Maybelline, why did I just forget the name of this brand? Superstay Better Skin Foundation in the shade, the lightest one. I'm just gonna apply it right over this side and then just go in with the mixed on the other side. Even mixed in with that foundation, it just looks super textured and heavy and cakey on my skin. It actually almost looks exactly like the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation, how that one sits on my skin. Like I said, for under my eyes, I'm going to be using the BH Studio Pro Concealer since I couldn't find a concealer on there. I'm going to do that, set my under eyes and face, and I'll be right back. I used the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade 20. I think there were a couple bronzers on Claire's website, but I didn't actually pick any up because I thought there was going to be a bronzer in the palette called Bronze, but there's not. Apparently these are all highlighters, so I just went ahead and used my e.l.f. St. Lucia bronzer and the blush in here. But now I'm going to try out the highlighter in this thing. I got super excited when I saw this online because there's a white highlighting shade in here. You get 4 highlighter shades. This one looked way darker online and it also looked kind of matte. Feels nice and soft. Ooh. This highlighting palette is $12.99. Packaging feels, again, super cheap, but let's see how the product is. I'm excited. I'm just using the Sigma F03 brush to try this out. That looks really nice. Doesn't look super textured. I'm gonna try a little bit of this shade right here, which looks kind of like a light banana shade almost. Ooh, that's also pretty. It's like kind of a champagne. It's not blending out the easiest, but I think that's the foundation I have on right now because even my powder blended out weird on top of that. I mean, that looks pretty. I'm gonna take that second lightest shade and just highlight a little bit right here. Yeah, product is just clinging really weird on top of this BB cream. Anything literally just sticks. I'm gonna take that same white highlight shade and put that underneath my brow bone a little bit. I'm also gonna pop that on the inner corner. Yeah, that looks pretty on the inner corner too. Ooh, I still want to try that white glittery shade, I think, too. Something is making my eyes super red right now. Lower lash line time. I'm going to go back into that first shade I used from this palette and blend that down. I think that's all I want to do on the lower lash line. I kind of want the focus to be the top. And we're going to put on bottom mascara, so that'll help. So let's try out this mascara. This mascara is friggin' vacuum sealed. This was $7.50. This is their 2-in-1 mascara. There's a liquid liner in here and a mascara. So I guess I actually got 3 liquid liners. Great. Okay, so here's the liquid liner on the top, and then I'm assuming you screw this back on, and then, yep, there's the mascara. Looks like a bigger kind of rubber wand. I'm putting on Claire's false lashes too, so I'm just gonna do a thin coat of this to coat my natural lashes. Not doing a whole lot, it's kind of just giving me natural looking lashes, making my eyes burn. So while that's drying, before I put on these false lashes, let's do lips. I got 2 different lip products, depending on kind of what look I was going to do. This one will definitely not go with this look, so I'm going to skip on this one, but this is the 2-in-1 lipstick and lip gloss. It's just like a twist up lipstick, red lip gloss. This, I'm so excited about. Look at this packaging. This is not the cutest thing ever. This is a strawberry flavored pizza lip gloss. I mean, if this doesn't scream Claire's, I don't know what does. This was $5.99. Dude, look at this thing. I feel like my 10-year-old self would be screaming right now. Actually, my 25-year-old self is internally screaming right now. I don't really know if this is a pizza. Looks kind of like a snack well with shit on top of it. How does this thing open? Whoa, okay. Just dug it in there. I'm actually gonna cover my lips in foundation to get that nude going, and then I think I'm just gonna top it off with that light pink color. Little hack if you don't have a nude lipstick. I'm just gonna take my finger, take the lightest one. I think that's pretty clear. Let's take a little bit of this purple one. Okay, let's go with the dark pink one. But that has a little bit of color. There we go. I actually think I like that purpley shade. It has a little bit of like a blue tint to it. Strawberry scent isn't too strong. Like when it's on my lips, I'm not really smelling it a whole lot. Okay, well maybe if you like deep breathe in, you can smell it. So they had a bunch of different lashes on there actually, and they carry Eyelure, which I love Eyelure lashes. 121's box is sitting right here. These are some of my favorite lashes. I didn't want to get the Eyelure brand though, since you can get those at Ulta and I've tried those. So I wanted to try out the Claire's brand. These ones were $6.50, which is actually, I feel like, really pricey for these. I feel like these should be like $2 or $3, like the e.l.f. false lashes. $6.50 for Claire's false eyelashes seems definitely steep. For some reason they were having a sale on this lash glue on the Claire's website, 3 for $5. This is the Eyelure strip lash. So I picked up 3. Hopefully they're good. Definitely need to trim these. Where are you at, scissors? Where are you at? So far so good on the lash glue. Okay, so lashes are on. My eyes are definitely a little bit irritated from something right now. I don't know what it is. The band on those lashes feel nice and light. Last step is lower lash line mascara. Where did I put the mascara? You guys should see this desk right now. Okay, I literally was just looking at this thing. How does a giant ass huge black tube go missing? Oh, here it is. It's looking for a black tube and there's hair. So I'm gonna try this for my lower lash line. I usually like a much thinner one for that. It's getting a little bit clumpy down there. I'm actually still really curious about this white one, so I think I do want to add a tiny bit of this to my inner corner. This probably won't dry for a year, but it's okay. Definitely a little bit less glitter payoff in that one. All right, so this is the final look testing out Claire's makeup. I think out of everything, I'm most into actually the liquid liner used as eyeshadow if you have time to let this thing dry. But it looks nice. I do like that gold glitter. This eyeshadow palette is a definite pass for me. I think this was the biggest reject as far as just like the formula and quality of it. Besides the glitter, I think the second runner-up as far as things that I liked is this highlighting palette. This one looks really nice right now. I'm gonna keep trying this out. I do think it didn't blend quite as well because of the products underneath my face right now. The liquid liner, I was semi-impressed by it. I do like the way it looks. It wasn't super difficult to work with. It's really black and matte. But like I said, I have a feeling this is gonna dry up just the way that it feels. Overall, I kind of just feel like you can make some of this stuff work, but it's just a bit overpriced for what it is. I find a lot of better things at the drugstore for around the similar price, if not cheaper. So those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up so I know. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm gonna put all of my social handles right here so you can follow along. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.